everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over some of the changes to Gems of War to troops that were added in 2.2. Not that many were changed. There's about 8 changes, so all of them are on the website at that link right there. Right there are all of them, but we'll go through all of the most important ones from there, such as Manticore. Manticore ended up getting a pretty big nerf. It now has the fast trait instead of a full empowered, so we'll never start with the full mana amount. It'll only start with 4 out of 9, which is not going to make it as viable as it has been for the longest time now, pretty much since it came out. It's definitely not going to be used as much since you can just use something that has full mana drain, such as a Spirit Fox, which would be in many cases better than that of a Manticore. Elbin has finally gotten a buff. He now has a 3x boost ratio instead of the very low 1x boost ratio that he has had for a while. And he also got a few additional damage. I think he got a 4 additional base damage and just a little bit more magic as he levels up. But for the most part, he's going to be good now, more towards like earlier on in the game. But after that, you won't really need it, since his damage compared to something like a Rowan or something else later on in the game isn't that good. But earlier on, when you can fully utilize the fact that he gets a 3x boost ratio and a lot of yellows, can make him a fairly decent troop. And he only has a 12 mana cost, so he's going to be gaining most of that back just from using his ability on its own. Gorgotha, despite already being pretty good, got a decent buff. It now has Cleanse whenever it uses his ability. This was mainly added, I believe, to be able to counter stun, so it can still have the granite skin, but now it does have that Cleanse, so any kind of stats effects it will be a lot better against. Will still be hard countered by drains and stuff like that, and the fact that if it gets silenced, it still won't be able to drain or cleanse off at all. But now it does have a little bit of cleanse that can help itself to make sure you can keep maintaining that granite skin whenever you're fighting various skull teams. And at this point, Manticore is basically dead because now Gorgotha is even more buffed up to counter something like a Manticore. The biggest change that has occurred is Kraken. It now has the ability it was supposed to have when it was originally released. It got patched in 2.2 to work correctly now, and it deals 3 damage to all enemies whenever it does 4 times or 5 times matches. We're going to be showing a couple of teams with that and the Gorgotha after we go through all of these, but there still were a few other ones. There was a change with Wolf Garrick. He now has a 22 mana cost instead of a 24. The other one is on Hero. There were 2 weapons that were changed. The Runic Blade. Both of them were old event weapons though. But old event weapons should be starting to come up in the shop for $5 on PC and mobile now. The main reason they haven't yet is another problem with Apple, of course. But Runic Blade, it now has the benefit of gaining 10 to all skills whenever it kills an enemy. Extremely good when used in Arena. I was using this last stream on the patch day, and we actually got on Warlord 4 in Arena. We won 2 battles using this blade on the highest difficulty in the game in Arena with a peasant on our team. That was pretty funny. But yeah, Runic Blade, very strong in Arena right now. I'm actually surprised they made it this strong. As far as in PvP and stuff, probably around a mid-range level, it'd be pretty good. I haven't really found much use for it at a higher level, simply because 10 to all stats isn't excessively high, but in Arena, that's just like an instant win at lower difficulties. And the other one is Withering Touch. It now has a full lifesteal. Before it only did like 4 damage and then gain life, but now it does the full true damage and the full life gain, kind of like a white, except it only hits the first troop and it drains all of their mana. So I believe that is all the troop changes. Of course, that link right there if you want to go to them, I'll post it in the description below, but it just goes over all the 2.2 changes at that link. But anyways, let's go now into 2 teams I want to show, both using Kraken. I wanted to do this when Kraken initially came out, but now that we have the opportunity to now, we might as well do it now. So Kraken number 1. This is just a absolutely insane team. Green Seer, Giant Spider, double Kraken. There isn't really anything that it can't win against. It does, of course, have the same problem as the Alchemist Hellcat team, that if you cannot get it started, it does struggle a bit, but once it gets started, it is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's so much fun to use. Because you'll just be able to get a endless loop going, and then at that point you'll easily be able to win. So right there, take that. Hopefully get the brown convert. No clue what's going to take out. Hopefully not the green. Okay, good. It didn't take away our green, so that should help us quite a bit. We'll use this on trying to find brown. I can see that we can do it on blue, but I prefer not to. Okay, good. We can do it on brown right there. So we'll do that. Get that started. I want to keep the blue on the board mainly because we'll be needing it for Kraken. Even if I have to use purple on green right now, I probably won't mind as long as we can get our Kraken off, which I don't believe we can. Let's see. We'll take that upwards. Every single time we take a 4 times or higher match right now, we will be doing a lot of damage to him. We will be doing 6, 3 per the Kraken. So that'll just keep chipping them down. It currently doesn't show like a little damage bar thing, but you can still see that they are indeed taking damage. It's just not really showing the indication of it. Like if you look at their armor right there, he just went down by 6. So we'll just keep taking turns. Probably shouldn't have taken those blues, but I do want to go just take all these extra turns. Just keep taking. And yeah, you essentially just win by taking extra turns and nothing else. And it is pretty hilarious. There we go. Do that again. It does require a fully traded Kraken, obviously, though, and this wouldn't be possible without it. The team would still win without it, but of course you couldn't do this ridiculous looping without it. And there, but as long as you keep the blues on the board, it'll get an extra turn, and then you just kind of keep doing that, and then boom, it's over. But yeah, that is Kraken these days in 2.2. I don't know if they're going to nerf it, but it is definitely pretty strong of a troop right now, fully traded. Or even not fully traded. It was already pretty decent. But that is Kraken. And now, let's make it even stronger by going Kraken and Gorgotha. Actually, this team I don't think is stronger, but it's a lot safer. Speaking about safer, maybe it won't be. He does have Great Maul. Great Maul could be a very big struggle in this battle, depending on what it decides to devour, mainly because we don't have anything to specifically target it out with. But we're going with this. Gorgotha, of course, has the buff of now having a cleanse. Dragon Soul will help us just explode with the Gorgotha. We have the Giant Spider for the same reason we had in the previous team, just to feed us mana. And we have the Kraken, of course, because we're showing off Kraken teams now. So we'll take the blues down. Now we don't do the 6 damage to everything. We'll just be doing 3, of course, because we only have 1 Kraken instead of the 2 that we were using previously. But even with 1, it's still going to be able to do a lot of damage to them over time. And Dragon Soul also chips at everything. So we have 2 different troops that are going to be just slowly taking out every single troop on the enemy team at once. So no good purple convert, so we'll just clear out the board with a Gorgotha, and he does have a cleanse. Though unless he death touches us, I don't believe there is any other stats effect on his team. So we won't really be able to use it in this particular match unless we can bait out a skull. And unless there's a need to. Let's see. Yeah, we might be able to let him take a skull there. It depends what this Kraken does. So we'll throw a Kraken at it. Maybe he'll take a skull, and then we can cleanse it off. Nope, we get our Devour. And nope, we do not bait off a skull. And his ability won't do too much to us. Unless it hits magic. That would be the only bad thing you could possibly do. So let's throw down Dragon Soul. That should kill it, actually. Yep, there it goes. We don't even need the glands. Yeah, Gorgotha was already very, very strong without it. Also, I forget if I mentioned it, but do keep in mind that the Manticore, due to its nerf, is available for refund if you want to get straight stones back or anything like that. All you have to do is just type in refund into the search bar for troops, and it'll show all of them that have refund, but currently just Manticore. So if you go to Manticore, all you have to do is just click the refund button on it, and you'll get all the trait stones and souls back for it. But yeah, that is the new Kraken. Quite a lot of fun to use. This was the Kraken I was hoping for when it was initially released, and now we finally have it now that it is 2.2. One other thing to mention is the patch for consoles came out today as well. And I'll be going over some of that probably later this weekend or next week, as we'll be streaming for the next 2 days, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday and Saturday. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the streams over the next 2 days. Goodbye.